Have you ever made banana bread and it looks good on the first couple of slices and even on the top part of the loaf it's beautiful, but on the bottom it's all clammy and dense and sticky? Well, I have the perfect recipe for you guys today because we're gonna make banana bread, but it's gonna be beautiful and light and not dense on the bottom.
You're watching the Bare Pantry Show.
So I had 3 rotten bananas and this is all I need to make this recipe. Alright, so we're going to start with flour. I'm going to put the list of ingredients down below for you guys, okay? Flour, and then baking powder, and then baking soda. Now I have a recipe for banana muffins, and I use equal parts baking powder and baking soda, but on this recipe use more baking powder than the baking soda. And then we have some salt, and then some cinnamon. So this should be all the dry ingredients because the sugars actually count as a wet ingredient, guys. So let me go ahead and give this a really good whisk and then set it aside. And then now we're going to work on our wet ingredients, which is butter softened to room temperature. We have no trouble doing that right now because it's hot in California right now. And then brown sugar. My brown sugar is really lumpy and hard. I should have nuked it in the microwave for 10 seconds or so to kind of loosen it up. But I figure I'm just going to go ahead and muscle through with my mixer, with my hand mixer. And I have little pebbles, little stones of the brown sugar that's flying everywhere out of my bowl. So that's what you see me picking up here, throwing back into the bowl. But don't worry, my little mat's clean. Now why this baby next one will come out and talk same time, right? When I want to do my voiceover. Alrighty. So I spent a longer time on this part than I should if the brown sugar wasn't giving me trouble. See, I'm still trying to break up a big lump here. Well, I finally got it creamy, so now I'm adding the 2 eggs. My bowl almost slipped out of my hand, guys. Let me go ahead and clean off the edges. And that's Josh walking behind me. For those of you who are new to the channel, welcome. Thank you so much for subscribing. Please go ahead and look through my 2,500 plus videos that I have here at the page for over the past 14 years. October 23rd will make 14 years since I've been doing this show, guys. So I have longevity over here, huh? So I added some of the dry ingredients, like half of it, and then about half of the mashed bananas. And if I had more bananas, I would use the rest, okay? If I had up to 5 bananas, I would use it because it shrinks when it goes bad. So no, you can do this with plantain too, overripe plantain. It won't taste as sweet as banana muffins, but it's still good. Well, I'm saying muffins, but bread. Muffins, bread, same thing, right? Look at Joshua serving himself over there right at the edge of my camera. So let's get this all worked in, guys. I always kind of put the creamy stuff over the dry so things won't go flying everywhere. Every time I cook, my main goal is not to have a large cleanup session afterwards. I hate cleaning up stuff, okay? Alrighty, it's done. Let me clean off the beaters. I don't want to call these the feet, right? But I guess they're beaters. Clean this off. Clean up around my bowl, and I have a loaf pan that's buttered. It's like a 9x5, I believe. That's the regular size, right? Yeah. So let's go ahead and put it in here. All right. You can also spray the pan, but I don't like those sprays unless they're just straight up oil. I have a bottle that I bought where you just put the oil in it and you just spray. You can do that too, but I like the butter better. Clean off all the nooks and crannies of the spatula. The oven is up to temperature to 350, and the recipe that I checked said bake it for 45 minutes, so we're gonna time it for that, but if we need more, we're gonna do more, okay? So let's put it in there, set it for 45 minutes, and then 45 minutes later, I'm going to go ahead and get it from the oven so I can check it with a skewer. If it's still kind of sticky in the middle, it's going back in, okay? So it still look kind of lighter brown. Let's go in here. Yeah. It's too sticky. Let's give it another 10 more minutes, but we're going to keep an eye on it. FYI, I learned a couple of things I learned that baking powder let your stuff rise and baking soda let it spread. So that's why a lot of cookies call for baking soda versus baking powder, right? And this thing called for more baking powder than baking soda because they wanted it to rise. It cracked open on the top, and my mother-in-law taught me years ago that when your bread or stuff like that cracks open, it's because you have a little bit too much fat in it. Maybe too much butter? But do you like it cracked? I think when it comes to banana bread, we should have it cracked, right? So let's go back. Let's watch, see how many more minutes we need. So we ended up using, out of the 10 minutes, like 6 of the 10 minutes. So 45 plus 6 is how much? 51 minutes. So I'd say about 50 minutes to bake this. Round it down, you know, and get it out while it's still warm because you don't want it to sweat inside the pan. So that's why I'm using these oven mitts. I'm gonna cover it up because I don't know if there's any flies inside the house. I never trust, especially in the summer. Now look, Joe came and took the back already. It's like, why? Why, Joe? Why do you do this to me? Every time I'm making a bread or something for the show, he goes and he steals the back part. I didn't even know till I was cutting it just now. So let's cut right down the middle because we want to see if there's any density on the bottom. The first 2 slices are always fantastic. It's when you get into the middle, right? Oh, look at this. Oh my God, the only thing missing is some nuts. Let's cut a slice. And no, I'm not gonna taste it because you know what? Banana bread hurt my stomach. I can't do bananas, guys, but they ate the whole thing. I don't even know if I have a piece to take a picture with for the thumbnail. So I think this right here, my fingers holding it up like this, that's gonna be the thumbnail. Because that's the whole theme of the show today anyways. It's banana bread that's not dense. That's probably gonna be in the title somewhere. Because that's how I looked it up. When I looked up the recipe, I wanted a banana bread that's not dense. So what do you guys think? Are you guys gonna try this? I would use more bananas. If you had more, don't let them go to waste. You could use up to 5, I believe. And when it comes to the butter, I would still keep the butter the way it is because I feel like the cracked top for banana bread works. For some other type of breads and cakes and stuff, it doesn't work. But for this, it works. So comment below if you're gonna go ahead and make this one. And also tell me if you make it into muffins.
This is the Beth Pantry Show.
Oh,
Boo,
what's up?
can you bring the keys that she plays with?
Do what?
The keys that she plays with.
Uh,
Can you bring those for her? Let's see if she'll play with them out here.
Alright.
All right. It's as if she knows she's not supposed to play with that out here.
Give me that. Give me that.
See, you chased her in your watermelon patch. She hit it, she hit it. Joe, she hit it. She hit it behind the house.
Jumping my pumpkin kid.
Let's see your pumpkin, baby.
Right.
Oh.
This weekend, double.
Oh, wow. Look at the pumpkin, guys. And I like how the leaves just grow to cover it, Joe. Let's see the other one. That one the size of a cantaloupe now, huh? Look at this one. Like 4 green apples. Check it out.
Only 2 company.
You only planted 2 seeds. What do you expect?